polynomial equalities. In this video, you will look at how to solve problems using polynomial equalities. Here is the problem. Namisha's family is planning to build another silo for grain storage, identical to those they have on their farm. The cylindrical portion of those they currently have is 15 meters tall, with the total volume of the silo 684 pi meters cubed. What is the possible value for the radius of the silo? Are there more than one? Step number 1, visualize the problem. Do this by drawing a diagram. From the information given, the height of the cylinder is 15 meters. Step number 2, determine the formulas that can be used to determine the total volume of the cylinder. These formulas will determine the polynomial equation that will represent the volume of the silo. We know that the total volume of the silo would equal the volume of the cylinder plus the volume of the top, which we'll call the hemisphere. So the total volume will be pi r squared h for the cylinder plus 1/2 4 divided by 3 pi r cubed. Step number 3. Substitute the given values for the values of the volume and the height into the formula. 684 pi equals pi r squared times 15 plus 2/3 pi r cubed. Now we'll just move the 15 to the front so all our coefficients are at the beginning, and we will get 684 pi equals 15 pi r squared plus 2/3 pi r cubed. Now let's simplify the equation. We'll move the 684 pi to the right, and we will get 0 equals 15 pi r squared plus 2/3 pi r cubed minus 684 pi. Now to begin solving, we'll look for the common factor, and we have a common factor of pi over 3. So we'll factor that out and get pi over 3 times 45 pi r squared plus 2r cubed minus 2052. Now we can multiply both sides by 3/pi, and we'll get 0 equals 45 pi r squared plus 2r cubed minus 2052. In the next step, what we'll do is we'll write the equality in descending order according to its degree. So we will now rewrite it as 0 equals 2r cubed plus 45 pi r squared minus 2052. Continuing on, solve the equation now by factoring the polynomial. We will use the factor theorem to determine one factor. We try to didn't work. We tried 3, didn't get 0. We tried 6, and we have 0 as our remainder. This means then that 6 is a factor. So one factor would be r equal to 6, which is r minus 6. Now solve the equation by factoring the polynomial continued. You can use long division, or I'm demonstrating here synthetic division, to demonstrate the other factor. So r minus 6 is our first factor, and you can see from the result of my division that we get 2r squared plus 57r plus 342. Now we can take the part not factored, 2r squared plus 57r plus 342 equal to 0, and apply the quadratic formula. So we'll find a is 2, b is 57, and c is 342. When you substitute that into the quadratic formula and simplify, your result will be negative 57 plus or minus the square root of 513 divided by 4. When we continue with this and we separate the plus root 513 and the minus root 513, you notice the first radius is approximately negative 8.6. The second radius is negative 19.9, and we cannot have a negative radius, so our answer will be the positive root, which we had at the beginning, 6 meters. Now, let's try the assignment.